Golf's no different from hockey. Requires talent, self-discipline.
Golf requires goofy pants and a fat ass. You should talk to my neighbor, the accountant, probably a great golfer, huge ass.
How do you measure yourself with other golfers? By height.
It's a very, very special honor.
I'm Paula Kramer, and you're listening.
Well, we're waiting.
Hi, this is Martin Cove, a.k.a. John Kreese from Cobra Kai, and you're listening to
Quiet, Please.
Let the word go out from here across the land. Let Daddy Noonan approve.
Hi, boys. Nice day for golf, isn't it? Quiet, please. Oh, you got secrets, eh?
Hey, this is Shooter McGavin. You're listening to the...
Hey, you guys. Hey, we're trying to have a podcast over here.
And after a week's hiatus for us to watch basically the final major of the season, as well as some other things, we are back and talking golf. I'm Alan Depew. This is Quiet Please Golf Podcast, and I am joined, as always, by our illustrious, highly educated, and, well, not as good looking because Christian's not here, but anyway, we'll make do. We got Don't Be That Guy, Andy Hydorn. I've got Boston Bob Baldessari.
Bloody well.
And B.E. writer, instructor, marketing genius.
The golden keyboard.
Keyboard, I have to keep a fire extinguisher next to it later.
So boys, there is a plethora of things that we can be talking about. I mean, we've got to start over at Royal Portrush. I mean, you have to, because everything splinters off, but I'm not going to. I'm going to talk about a social. Yeah, Andy, I saw the look on your face. I am going to start. Oh, by the way, if anybody wants to chime in, please, YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram, shoot us a message. We love social interaction from everybody else. I got to find the piece. I copied it to my thing here.
The last week of the promotion, correct?
It is. It is indeed. And now I can't find the damn thing. So I'll just wing it. Cam Smith, the only player, and I'm bringing this up because I've been told you for 2 years now. I feel cheated, and I got to get this off my chest, Andy. This could be the beginning of your live report.
Cam Smith, the live report has taken post position.
Yes, it has, because the one-time champion golfer of the year. Watch to see how I work this back together back to the Open Championship. The former Open champion of the year, Cam Smith, is now 2 years removed from the PGA Tour, and he missed the cut in every single damn major, the only player to do it. And I feel horrible for his robbing us of that talent. So there you go. I got it off my chest. B.E.
But you got to be happy by some of the live guys' performances. Like Westwood, where did he come from?
That was a surprise.
That was incredible. Like, what did he? Didn't he shoot a 29 one of the days on the back nine?
He did.
Wild. And then Phil making the cut, and it goes to show, and this is something I wrote about last week, that the one event, you could have an argument for the Masters because it's the same place every year, and some of those past champions can sneak in there and make the cut or even make a run. But the Open Championship, hands down, is the one major that's truly wide open, I think, where you can get those blasts from the past, a Justin Leonard or Lee Westwood or Phil Mickelson showing up on the leaderboard, at least for a little while. And I just love that. That's so cool to me.
Do you think that's because it's links golf and it's the vagaries of just, and the weather and the draw? And there was a stat that the early, late, early, whatever was pretty darn even this year. So that's pretty equitable.
Yeah, I just feel like the way links golf plays, and shout out to Portrush, because I didn't really watch much of the 2019 Open Championship for one reason or another. I don't even know why, but
because Rory bombed.
What's that?
Rory bombed.
Yeah, I was out. But this one I watched quite a bit of, and I will say this, like, again, events and venues, it's a great venue.
Yep.
Like if you now can think of a number and know what hole it is, you can picture it, you know what the par is, what the dog leg is, like that's a pretty impressive thing for a golf course to leave that sort of impression on you. And I feel like there were some awesome golf holes. At Portrush. There's a place to score. There's a place to make par. Like, it was really good.
The other one that struck me was DJ. A little surprise there. But we failed to mention the man. And it will tie in later in the conversation. But Bryson, I mean, he went in fuego if you leave out round one.
Yeah.
So maybe he is a 54-hole live player. I don't know.
Okay, I have a take on the Bryson thing. And
is this your formal report right here?
Yeah, this is as formal as it's going to get. But and he played an incredible last 3 rounds. I mean, he was 16 under. But the nature of this game and the nature of the mental part of this game allows his 78 allowed him to shoot 65, 68, 64.
100%.
You know, if he shot 68 the first round, he's not shooting those rounds in the last 3. That's just the way golf is. And I'm not taking anything away from him. It was an incredible performance. You know, for him to get a top 10 after shooting 78 is incredible. But again, the state of your mind playing this game and you know, where you stand in the field and all the things that you're feeling and going through play a huge role in how free you are to play the game. And he was pretty damn freed up the last 3 days.
Do you find it funny? Any of you guys find it funny that, I mean, this happens with all of us regular golfers, where if you're hit a shitty drive on a par 5 and you got 300 plus and you just want to get something down there and you flush it, you always flush those shots. Like, it doesn't matter. But at the same time, like, it's surprising to me that the pros, you'll see this all the time. What happened with Bryson, or Tiger makes the cut on the number, plays like shit on a Saturday, but goes out and shoots a 66 or 67 on Sunday because he doesn't give a crap anymore. Like, that's wild that the best players in the world are just as affected by the mental game as any of the rest of us are, for different reasons, of course.
Rory did it at the Masters 2 years ago. Remember, he shot like 64 or 63 the last round, hold the bunker shot on 18 to finish like backdoor second. Same thing. Like, when you're out of it and you're not pressing and you're not, you know, have amped up anxiety levels, it just shows you how much all that stuff plays a part in how we play golf. And I think it translates to the average person, right? Bobby, you know, you deal with ladies all the time. Like, that same amount of anxiety can be from a lady just having to tee it up in front of a group of men.
Yeah.
It's self-imposed, but it's real. And it just makes it really tough to deal with when it's there. And it makes golf really easier by comparison when it's not there.
Yeah, it brings back to the Bobby Jones quote about there's golf for tournament golf. And, you know, what's between your ears is 6 inches. And, yeah, it's like a fight or flight type of thing when you're behind and you're looking at target, go, go, go. You got the lead. You got this thing about, oh, manage your game and pit it here and do this and do that. And, yeah, it's fascinating. I mean, that's probably one of the things about, you know, Tiger or some of the players that, you know, Ray Floyd, you know, the leader, but what's that phrase they always give? I'm blanking on it. But anyways, you know, the person that can get out in front, keep that lead, almost keep expanding it, you know, that's a rare breed.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a tournament here about a month or so ago, the Carlton Woods Invitational. It's really good, you know, amateur invitational senior thing here. And I ended up finishing second by a shot.
What a hacker.
And never one time did I think I was in it. I wasn't looking at the leaderboard. I wasn't, because I had played a pretty crappy second round. In my third round, I was just trying to figure it out, get it together. And I shot 2 under the last round and made all that ground up. But I was never really in it, you know? And if I was in it and felt it, probably wouldn't have birdied the last hole, you know?
Be interesting to see what our friend Stephen Yellen thinks about that last round psychoanalysis.
Yeah, for sure.
So I have 2 thoughts. One that's relevant to Portrush, and then 2, just me want to bloviate. One, it is back in the day, Andy, conversely, playing in the Mid-Atlantic PGA, I can't tell you how many times I'd go out there and just feel like I had to go low. Only to go up to the scorer's 10 afterwards and say, oh, man, you just missed out of the money by a shot.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, you finished third, but we're only paying 2 spots this week. But so it's all relative. It is relative how much pressure. I made the comment walking into the golf shop after we had 3 inches of rain on Sunday morning. And one of the guys said, who do you think, can anybody catch him? And I said one name, and you would be proud of me, Andy. I said Rory. I think he's the only guy that could have caught him. And I think he could have caught him if he had got out on fire and really, really got the fans stoked and catapult him further along. He did get out a little bit, and then he simmered off a little bit, and then Scottie just took over.
Yeah, and to your point, the only person who could have challenged him may very well have been Rory, but as it played out, there was no one going to challenge Scottie. Nobody. No. I mean, he hits it to a foot on the first hole, right?
And that's what we're talking about of these highs and lows that all these guys go through. Scottie doesn't, and that's what makes him different than Tiger. Like Tiger didn't even do that type of thing. He was very high. It seemed like he was very up here all the time.
Very different.
Totally different. And that's what fascinates me about Scottie. And something I wrote today was about the comparison thing that we're hearing about. The more I think about it, the more I don't want to do that. I don't want to compare Scottie to Tiger or to Jack or whoever in terms of the type of player they are. You can compare by statistics, major championships, number of wins, but Scottie's totally different than Jack. He's totally different than Tiger, and how that plays out for the next, what is he, 28, 29, the next
29,
20 years. I mean, who knows? Who knows if he'll break all the records? Who knows if he'll set the bar higher than it's ever been set? But
do you think he can be? What is he? Yeah. I've already seen that one running rampant on socials. How many can he get? He's going to break Jack.
Well, you want to get a stat? I can read this off. I saw this late today. This puts into perspective that Scottie Scheffler is playing amazing golf. Amazing. And he's got, can he break records? Okay. Scottie Scheffler is 29 years old, 17 PGA wins, 4 majors. Tiger at 29 had 46 wins, 10 majors, and he completed the career slam twice. Jack Nicklaus at 29, 30 wins, 7 majors. So he's in that context of this day and age. Scottie's doing amazing, but
Bobby, I've also seen the one that was put out there looking at the 3-year run that they each were on.
Yep.
And actually, Scottie's slightly ahead. Did Scottie get late to the game, Andy?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
I remember he was out there challenging for the lead as a young PGA Tour player, quite often, and couldn't win, right? I remember he was making Ryder Cup teams and he hadn't won yet, and it's like, is he ever going to get over the hump? And oh my God, he got over the hump and then never looked back, right? But here's my question for you guys. What's his superpower?
A heart rate that just stays steady as can be. And he sticks to his game plan no matter what happens. But at the same time, he's adaptable, which contradicts the stay steady, because he last year he was one of the worst putters on, links greens the last couple of years, and he totally threw that out of the water. He was second in strokes gained by just a little bit behind. I think Harris English was first in strokes gained putting. That's hard for someone to go from one of the worst in the field the last two, the two previous years on links courses to second best in the field.
Did you see that video going around? It's a video of something that actually took place where Rory's like, I think Scottie needs to go to a mallet. And that was back in right towards the end of 2024.
Go lab mallet.
Yeah.
Well, by the way, Lab got some serious shout outs on the telecast.
So what do you guys think his superpowers are?
I mean, great iron control. Just every time I turn around, he's got that iron. It's so well controlled with distance control and in the good spot. And he seems to have a great mind for the game.
I think, knowing Mr. Andy Hydorn, who's pulled a statistic out about how shots gained off the tee one other time on us, I think he's going to say it's shots gained off the tee, because Scottie really doesn't put himself in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I'm not saying that I am the keeper of the opinion of what his superpower is, because we all have our opinions. But I do, listening closely to his competitors, I think they're most amazed with what Bobby said. His ability to hit these iron shots, like the iron shot he hit on one, he kind of cuts it into that hill where it dies and trickles down. He did the same thing on, I think it was 8, or maybe even 4, I forget. But I think that's, if you pay attention to what his peers think, they seem to think that that's his thing. That's his superpower and the thing that they're most amazed by.
I think it's his connection with his home life, because you watch Netflix, the show on Netflix there, and you really get to see what happens behind the scene. Like, we've never been able to see it like that. And you see how many of these guys struggle with, how their golf internally defines them, or how they think about themselves. And what he said in his press conference last week was so telling to me, that he can just turn it on and off. It's important, but it's not important. And I think when he said that, he's trying to catch himself with, well, I don't want people to get the wrong idea, but I think that's the right idea. That's what makes him able to, separate what's happening here and what's happening on the golf course.
I loved his follow-up, though, because they asked him about that, and he went into a more elongated answer by saying, "Did you listen to what I said? We are in a clickbait world, and we want to focus on 5 words, 6 words. Did you hear what overall I said? Which is, who wouldn't want their name on the claret jug?
Right.
Who wouldn't want the memory of lifting this? But at the end of the day, I'd rather, and I'm paraphrasing, I'd rather be defined as who I am as a person than as a professional golfer."
Yeah, the other part that I got out of it was the process of becoming the player he is, and of preparing for those tournaments, and it's almost like the ultimate victory is somewhat of a letdown, and not in a bad way, but it's like I've seen him say it again. I worked my whole life to be a professional golfer. He was saying, when I was a kid in Texas, I was walking around in pants in July.
Yeah.
He goes, That's what I want it to be. And I just think that it's pretty amazing that looking at it that way and knowing that once you do actually achieve those things, it's not quite as important as the whole process of getting there and working towards, that ultimate spot of being the best player in the world. I just thought that was sort of incredible. I did share one other thing on social today that I saw, which just struck me just to the core. It was just someone following Scottie around, doing autographs for kids, right? And it's funny. You'll see some player, and I'm not criticizing anybody. You'll see some players go up to a crowd and their heads in the clouds. They're signing everybody's stuff, but they're just not talking. Scottie's having a conversation with every kid.
Yeah.
Like every kid. It was the coolest thing. And it was just amazing. Like the difference between that level of engagement and somebody out there just going through the motions. And again, I'm not criticizing anybody for doing that, but it's just an incredibly different personality and approach.
Well, I had sent you guys a tweet over on Sunday, and I didn't even get a response, and I'm a little, taken back by it. But I mean, I put the coronation of the crown on King Scott's head and said, "Golf is in a great space, oh historical one," with the passing of King Eldrick. Do you agree?
Well, oh historical one means that Bobby's the one that didn't respond to you, not the rest of us.
No, everybody didn't respond to that very post. But I'm asking the historical one. Is golf in a great place?
There it is.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, I mean,
golf's in a great place.
Number one Scottie fan here. I don't know. You got a lot of Scottie fans out there right now. So, Bobby, the question at hand is golf in a better place with a positive role model who has his kid running up and sitting on the claret jug, and
the dogs are going crazy. They're excited.
They are.
Yeah, I think anytime you've got, anytime you have a chance of little craziness going on here. Anytime you've got a chance of, when people are talking about the best player and you're talking his history, then that's a good thing. When you're talking comparisons to Jack and Bobby Jones and Hogan and Tiger, that's a good thing. I think the NHL, the NFL, all the team sports, when there's a dominant team, it seems to drive things better. More people are interested. Golf's the same way. There's always been that dominant figure. There's been the big three, or different big threes, different big twos, different. Even Norman has his run. So I think we're in a good spot. I think in this day and age, Scottie is like making history, and that always attracts a lot of people.
Yeah. So we have to reply to Boa Constrictor here on YouTube. He placed a $20 parlay bet on Scottie to win the PGA this year, the Open Championship this year, and the Masters next year.
Oh,
so tell us,
what's that one going to pay out?
Tell us what's that worth, Boa Constrictor?
Yeah, what's that one going to pay out?
And do you want to invest in a little podcast?
And what are you thinking next year? Let us know.
He might have that almanac that Biff had.
Yeah, exactly. But that's a pretty. I mean, how do you pick the PG 3.5?
3,200.
That's pretty nice. How do you pick the PGA and the Open Championship and skip the U.S. Open? That's what I want to know. I mean, clearly you know what the hell you're doing, but
Yep.
But what was the logic there?
I'd be interested in hearing the logic, but I didn't think he was going to win the Open or the U.S. Open.
Why?
Yeah, he really wasn't my. I was thinking Bryson, but we saw how that went.
I placed all the trebles. I didn't factor him in at Oakmont. I know he was there, but
so he did kind of a, what do they call that at the horse track when you box a quinella or something?
Oh yeah, you box him.
Yeah.
All right. So hey, that's newsworthy in April.
Yep.
Which, by the way, did not get my tickets again. Not happy camper.
I didn't even get an email.
So, just saying.
They must send those emails out like sporadically or by alphabetical by last name. I don't know, because I didn't get one. Did you either of you guys?
I got the email, and I'm going to be leaning on one more roll media for media credentials.
That's a tough one, getting them there.
Can we at least touch on too, and I know we've talked about this before, but just how absolutely, as time goes by, it becomes more and more ridiculous. The Phil tweet on Scottie,
oh my Lord,
Scottie not winning until the Ryder Cup. Or
before we say that, can I throw in there this one? Because literally before I turned on the Open for the first time this week, they were running a underdogs, and it was a profile of Watson's run at when he was 59.
Yeah,
and Stewart Sink came out of nowhere.
Yep,
and wins the thing. So you have these, but both of them technically underdogs. The whole time I'm sitting there watching as this star-studded leaderboard, and here's Lee just hanging around.
Yep.
So he's interesting. He caught my eye a bunch of years ago, and he was really good. And then he went off the deep end, like bad for a while. And now obviously he's kind of back, but he's really a pretty interesting player to watch. And there was a time, like I said, 5 or 6 years ago, where he was looking like he was going to be one of the best players in the world.
But didn't he always have that moniker of the guy that never won a major, but was number one on the money list on the European tour? And
Haotong Li?
Oh no, I thought you were talking about Lee Westwood.
No, Haotong Li.
Okay.
Who were you talking about, Alan?
Lee.
Haotong Li, yeah.
Okay.
I just kept getting the sense is he going to catch fire and sneak in and win the Open Championship.
Now he was in a President's Cup. What, two President's Cups ago?
Yeah,
been a little while, yeah.
So he's shown that he can play, but you're right, Andy. He did have a dip there for a couple years.
I even think he said he had the swing yips, which is no fun. So Boa Constrictor, tell us where you're listening from. Curious podcasters.
Well, he's talking about bookies in South Africa. If he wins 4 in a row, let me know. Needed the pod. Let us know what the pod needs.
He's either searched the globe to find the best. He is calling from Cape Town.
Cape Town.
There you go.
I was going to say he's either searched the globe to find the best odds from a bookie, or he's actually in South Africa. But very cool.
Good on you, mate. There, yeah.
So back to your comment, aging like fine wine or moldy cheese in Phil's perspective. Ain't gonna say it, but I don't think that Scottie's gonna win before the Ryder Cup. Can we just give him the Player of the Year at this point?
Yeah, we were talking about that last week, weren't we? It's hands down now.
Yeah, before this week, it was kind of up in the air still.
Yeah.
I mean, like if Rory would have won this week, as opposed to Scottie, you'd have a definite, leaning towards Rory as Player of the Year. But
yeah,
I don't know what Rory can do between now and the end of the year that can change, Scottie's year. Which
win another FedEx Championship and the Ryder Cup.
I don't know that that's enough.
No, I don't know.
Yeah,
which is crazy because Brando was getting into it with the panel there about he was claiming that Scottie statistically, which is true, is having a better year statistically. But the argument Rich Lerner and the guys were making was, guy completes the career Grand Slam, wins the Masters, the Players, Pebble Beach. How can you not put that guy? Of course, this is prior to what happened last week, but
yeah,
it was pretty compelling there up until Sunday night.
Agreed.
I saw another one. I believe Kyle Porter chimed in with the top 10. Where does this play? He might have been responding to somebody. Where does this place Scottie in the top 10 of all time?
Kyle Porter was saying that?
I believe so. If it wasn't you, Kyle, I apologize. But I believe it was. And he's like, not even on the board.
I don't think so either.
Not yet.
Like, I get a little irritated sometimes. Scottie's 29. He's not even, quote unquote, the prime of his career. And everybody wants to, like, put him in the pantheon now. It's like, wait a minute. We hope he continues. Is he top 10 now? I don't think so. But,
no.
Yeah, I just get.
But he's 20. But he's 29, right?
He's 29.
So will he be there? Most definitely.
I mean, the top 10, obviously, and I can't remember the order, but it's Tiger, it's Jack, it's names like Jones and Saracen and Hogan and
Palmer,
Sneed,
Gary
Rory's player. I mean, Rory's probably a number 8, 9, 10 guy on that list.
Yeah, he's probably getting close.
Yeah.
Bo Constrictor also asked the chances of Scottie becoming a consistent top 10 putter. I mean, he was amazing this week. Like the par saves, like the 15, 18-foot par saves he was making, it was incredible.
Confidentiality reasons, Andy, prohibit me from telling them about my consulting.
Only if.
80's coming for facts.
Yeah.
Before you know it, he's going to be in the booth right next to facts.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, hey, another big name went by the wayside. Ian Baker Finch announcing his retirement. Great commentator. I wish him well in retirement. So, yeah, that's job opening. Resume's already dusted off.
Yeah, I love Ian Baker Finch.
He was really good. Yeah.
Oh,
there's a great example of a guy that, totally fell off and just totally lost. He was a major champion and never to be seen again. And it's just wild. The game's just wild. But yeah, kudos to him for a great career in the booth. That's cool that he's going to call it a day.
He was seen left of the out of bounds stakes on number 1 at St. Andrews. That's where he was seen.
Let's throw this one in there. Because you know what happens this week? Anybody?
Movie magic.
Oh, yeah.
Well, no, it's my birthday, but and movie magic. 25th. I was a little premature a couple weeks ago. Happy Gilmore 2 it's on screen.
I like where you're going.
Bobby,
Yeah.
what you got?
I hope they would do 10 Happy Gilmores, because anytime you can see a Boston Bruins hockey shirt up there, it's a beautiful day.
Yeah.
It gets us to thinking for the trivia this week. Not that we, can't bring up an Open Championship trivia. We can get to that. But what is the highest grossing golf-themed movie of all time? Highest grossing golf-themed movie of all time.
That's a good one.
Is it that one with Randy Quaid that was on HBO? Dead Solid Perfect?
Oh my God, I love that book.
Dan Jenkins.
Dan Jenkins' book. That was an amazing book.
That is a good story.
So my guess is Bagger Vance, only because, like, I'm guessing it would have had to have had, a lot of success in the theater.
Yeah, with the names in it.
Detroit AD, any guess?
Well, for the same reason, yes. I'm gonna go Tin Cup.
Okay, drum roll, please. Plate golf applause. Highest grossing golf themed movie at $53,854 and some change. The movie starring Kevin Costner and Renee. So, Tin Cup.
Wow.
There you go.
Okay, Alan, put your arms down.
And that's one I could watch a couple times. The ending of that, for as ridiculous as it is just so good.
You never know what. Well, I guess if you go franchise, Happy Gilmore too. Maybe that might be in the mix next time in a couple of years.
Friday that comes out, right?
Friday. Yep.
Yeah.
On Netflix.
We should do a watch party sometime.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Get Shooter to come on.
I'll say it again. Cool dude. Just a really good guy, hang out,
He's not a good dude. You see how he treated Happy?
The golden jacket?
He's not a good dude.
Dude. He's misunderstood.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's pieces of shit like for dinner or for breakfast. Boa Constrictor, top movie. There's a chance. Chime in.
Maybe get a wedge.
It is 2 a.m. there for him, by the way.
That's why he's probably up watching us. I set my alarm to watch the Open Championship.
I did as well.
Let me check over on Instagram. No, Joe Benesha is not on there chiming in once again. So, Andy, don't be that guy. Oh, Legend of Bagger Vance. Excellent choice. Big fan of that movie.
Very nice.
Yep.
Okay, the gift that keeps giving for Don't Be That Guy is the Oakmont.
Is he back?
The Oakmont Wyndham Clark situation. But the new recipient is Kevin Kisner for his lame ass take on the Oakmont thing.
Yep.
Trying to come out with some sort of take that locker rooms are sacred, and whoever's the one that released the pictures, don't give me that shit. Like that's you're deflecting so bad on what actually happened. So Kevin Kisner, congratulations, don't be that guy.
Agreed.
Well played. Well played.
Kiz. Non-golf related, the Count of Monte Cristo. Okay.
Classic.
Yeah.
That's old school.
That's right. I was going to say, Bobby, that's right near historical wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Should we chime in very briefly? Words about the Barracuda.
I just love that format. I wish that the PGA Tour would do a couple more, whether it's Stableford or what they do with the team event in New Orleans, because they're just so fun. I had just as much fun watching that, at least on Saturday. I didn't really tune in too much on Sunday, but Saturday watching Sam Ryder and Kevin Roy kind of climb up the board, which they both kind of slid on Sunday. But shout out to Ryan Gerard for breakthrough. These opposite field events are so vital to the PGA Tour, because it lets these guys, while the big boys are someplace else, kind of get to that level, because otherwise it's tough. It's tough to get in there with the Xanders and the Rorys and all those guys when they're in the field. But great performance by Ryan Gerard. I think he had like 47 points or something ridiculous like that.
Yeah, he did.
That's strong.
I got nothing to say about the Barracuda. I watched about 10 minutes of it, but
I didn't even see that. I kind of missed that one this weekend, so I cannot report confidently on that one. But I do want to. If we can go back to the Open for 1 second, when Rory, this is really interesting. When Rory did the unplayable lie to help himself, and he had the clarity of mind and wherewithal in the middle of an Open Championship. This afternoon, I was speaking with our local high school golf team, and it was neat for me to use that. If I just stood there and I said just weeks ago, hey, by the way, there's this unplayable lie thing, and you should think about it sometimes. You, the player, can control the ball, your decision, and, this can come up. All I had to say was Rory did it in the Open, and everybody's eyes fixated on me like, oh, wait a minute, Rory? Oh, it was in a tournament? It was a great real-life example of the rules coming to life for some young people, which I said, my dad said the rules are there to help you, and I would yawn. But then, as a kid, you play a couple times, and you come back, and you're mad about the rules, and finally it knocks in your head, Dad, you're right. The rules are there to help you. So it's little things like this that can help kids understand the game and appreciate knowing the rules. They are there to help you. Knowing the options, you could go from being screwed to taking relief under the rules, and all of a sudden have a better lie and a better angle. So
he made par.
Yeah.
Took an unplayable lie and made par. And it was at a crucial point in his round where he had momentum going, and he didn't let the momentum, kind of hit a roadblock there. So it was pretty awesome.
Yeah. Let's give a shout out to the USGA. They've been putting out some really good quick videos on how the rules can be your friend. They put one out last week that I reposted on Instagram where your only play, you're up by a tree, but there's a cart path there, and you turn to hit it left-handed. I didn't even realize that. You can get relief if you're going to play it left-handed, and when you get your relief, you can go back to swinging right-handed, and that's perfectly legal.
Yep.
And it's wild, Bob. Like you can really use the rules to your advantage.
You really can. You're playing within the rules, but them. You know where the options are to be able to draw up and get a better angle totally within the rules. Yep.
We got a guy at our club, every time he hits one behind the trees, claiming he's standing on an anthill. I'm not shitting you either, like he does.
And Andy, you reminded Boa Constrictor what time it was in South Africa. So cheers, gents. I enjoyed the pod. Tuning in again. Thank you for tuning in. We look forward to chatting. Absolutely. Keep going with the parlays.
Yeah. Share.
We need an investment.
Yeah.
Oh, let me see. I got to hit a button over here. BE. Boom. There we go. There's a green behind. There's a flag behind it. 18th green. 18th green, boys. Bobby.
First up, two things. I still find it interesting that because of high definition TV, what happened to Shane Lowry can determine something. Yeah. And you keep reading about this all the time, and there's going to be no right answer, and it's going to be all over the place as far as the star players get the attention, star players get the TV, they zoom in on the ball. I don't think he had any intention. That ball just moves a skosh. How many other players in the field don't get TV attention? Has that happened 1,000 other times? It's interesting fodder for talking and trying to figure out, because, if he comes off the wrong way, then he looks like he's a bad guy. And I think he's a really good guy. I don't know him. But that was just one thought that came, that and the Rory thing, as I was thinking through the Open. But also, I did a video today about fixing your ball mark. And I said this on the video, for the love of old Tom Morris, can please just think about fixing ball marks. And I'm torn if I want people to fix them incorrectly and they butcher the green, or just leave it. Like, that's a tricky one there. Like, people, I walk up and I go, what are they thinking? They're excavating. This is not an excavation site. So I'm on this new thing about fixing the ball mark. I said to my wife, I want to come up with some sort of phrase that people are thinking about that's so stupid and weird, but I don't really care that they think about it. And I said to her the other night, is it like if you don't fix the ball mark or you fix it screwed up, is that like walking in a room, farting, and leaving? Like, I don't really care what it takes to get people to think about it. And they walk out of green, they go, I don't want to fart here. So there you go.
Great analogy. I love that.
Mr. Hydorn.
All right, so I'm going to comment on the Shane Lowry thing only because Bobby said something. I have something else, but it's unfortunate, but there was a piece of straw under Shane's ball that was sticking out to the left of his ball. And when he took a practice swing, he hit the piece of straw, and that's what moved his ball. Any of this gray area talk I don't get it. Like, there is no gray area. He moved the ball. It was unfortunate, unintentional, but he moved the ball. And whether he was looking at it or not, that's a different story. But, the people that say that there's a gray area that, it may not really move, it moved. It moved a lot. And he did it when he hit that straw with his practice swing. So anyway, that's one. Second thing that I'll say, and we touched on it earlier, it's just amazing, like, to see Justin Leonard playing on the weekend at the Open Championship. He's fairly competitive on the Champions Tour, but he's not a star out there. He's not dominating anything. But the Open Championship delivers that. We saw Greg Norman, a few years back at a ripe old age, really competing for the Claret Jug. We saw obviously Tom Watson, and just the fact that links golf allows players like that to compete that don't hit it anywhere near as far as the others, I just think is another example of why that's such a great tournament.
Totally agree.
If you're a fan of links golf, it's not over, folks. The Open Championship may be over, but the seniors are playing this week at where are they? Where's the senior?
They're playing at Sunningdale, I believe.
Sunningdale, right. And KJ Choi is the defending champion. And then we got the ladies at the Scottish Open. And the big story with the ladies is Lottie Wood is turning professional, former #1 amateur in the world. And, she's making a name for herself. She's played well the last couple of weeks. A lot of people are pulling for her to potentially come right out of the gate and make some noise. And I think that would be the case too. And then you got the 3M happening on the PGA Tour. I got a good feeling Tony Finau looked good for a little bit this past week. I like Finau this week.
I picked him in DraftKings.
Nice.
I've got two. One comical, one not so much so. You can determine which. Tiger Woods' young heir apparent competed in the U.S. Junior Am. 82-74, did not make the round to 64, and that's all you need to say. He competed. He gave a shot. Haters, shut up. And two, I wanted to dispel the myths, the rumors that BE's One More Roll Media is not promoting the Smashers versus Legion 13 in a steel cage match in Houston.
This is true.
Thank God.
It's a rumor.
That would have been awesome.
I think Phil was posting that, asshole.
That's all I got to say. Oh, there you go. Have a good week, boys.
Cheerio.
Ciao.
See you next week.
You only have one opportunity to sell your golf property. Shouldn't you partner with an expert that offers you 30 plus years of golf industry experience combined with the reach of a global leader in real estate? Colliers International Golf Brokerage and Advisory Services understands your unique business needs. Whether it is brokerage, management, and consulting, be reassured that the market leader in the business of golf is providing you the real answers and practical solutions you deserve. Contact Golf Talk Live co-host and Collier's Golf Advisory Services member Alan Depew today at 717-554-8519. That's 717-554-8519.